guys, so I'm at work today talking to one of my colleagues about cars. I drove in the 993 and I actually parked next to him today, and we had talked before about, you know, cars, and I was told that he had this really special car that I've always wanted to drive, and he actually handed me the keys just right now. I'm talking about this guy. I'm pretty sure you know what that is. If you don't, you're not a car enthusiast. No, seriously though, this is a classic. And I've been keeping my eye out on them. None are available that I've seen, and if they are, they're not cheap. But I got an opportunity to go for a ride. And since I'm all-wheel drive, we'll all drive it together. How about that? One of my favorite things about BMWs is the way they sound when they start. Given that this is an M car with the same engine as my E46 M3, it's probably gonna sound pretty awesome.
Certified cars of West Virginia, we're going to be talking 200.
Pretty exciting, I must say. You guys know how fanatical I am about seats. Look at that. These are better than what's in my M3. I got seat envy like a mofo right now. This is one of the last pure driving cars. You know, it's no nonsense. Does have some driving aids. You know, with Porsche, you got traction control, DSC. But aside from that, it's pretty much raw. Has the sport button that we've come to know with the BMW M cars. My M3 has it. That is not just for decoration. You hit that button, and essentially what happens is the car just opens up, and you literally feel it in the seat of your pants. It just, you can tell that it's been unleashed. It's almost like if you take the leash off of a dog in the park, you know what it's gonna do, right? It's gonna run like a motherfucker. Excuse my language, but that's what's gonna happen. Actually doesn't sound as aggressive as I thought it would, and that makes sense. I mean, the M3 that I have, it doesn't sound all that hard either. But we're gonna go on a little ride. Excuse me. Because I may not get the chance to drive one of these or own one, which I would love to do. He's not a car collector. He just happened to like this car and decided to get it. He told me that he does neglect it a little bit. We're gonna have a talk, but it was so cool that he let me take the keys. He's got Navi, everything you need and none of what you don't. It's cooled off today. It's been pretty hot last couple of days. I think pretty hot's a little bit of an understatement, but it's hot up in here. But I'm gonna leave the AC off just because you kind of want the full effect. He told me he had some fuel in here. Knowing my M3, that can be a bit of a misleading idea, because what looks like a lot of fuel is not really that much in a car like this, because they can drink pretty heartily. Man, I'm digging these seats. You know, you guys know I'm a seat whore, right? These are sweet. They're so thin. This is all right. This is very all right. Now, if I have a gripe, which I'm very inclined to be of the gripe state of mind about things when it comes to seats, they're not as snug as the RSX. You guys are gonna think the RSX is my favorite car. Actually, it's not, but I cannot deny how fantastic those seats were. But these are a good start. I'll say that. You don't fit in them quite as well as you do in the 911. I'm actually parked right next to him. Bluey, as my son calls it. All right, enough chit chat. Let's do some driving before he comes and confiscates these keys from me. There we go. We're clicked and ready to roll. It's a nice snug clutch. And true to the M car, the TAC has the lighted section, so when they warm up, the lights on the TAC actually move further up the range. So when you first turn the car on, it's going to be like at 5.5 till it warms up, and as it warms up, those lights go out to show where your red line is. This one's already warm. I think he just got back from lunch, so it's already at the 7.5 mark is where you start getting aware, and the red line is at 8. I've never taken mine up to 8. I never feel the need to. These things put out so much power and torque that by the time you get that far up the rev range, you've already probably shifted. We're out by the airport, so excuse all that overhead noise you're probably hearing. Got a nice little GTI Type R up there. Like those. Oh, this thing does not disappoint. I think it's a little more aggressive than my E46. I have to say, it's the exact same engine, exact same output. I am going to turn on the air just so you guys can hear better. But this thing, man, it's got some minerals. I'm not going to get too crazy. It's kind of like with my friend Devin, who let me borrow her Mustang. It's her baby. This is probably his baby. It's his only toy, so I'm not gonna get stupid with it. But you know, these tires or the wheels on this car, because of the engine, they have a tendency to lose grip. So if that happens, I cannot deny its natural urge. That would be wrong of me. Don't tell him. This is pretty cool. Oh, come on. I'm trying to think of where I can go. I mean, we're in a pretty busy industrial area. It's not my usual route, but hey, you take the opportunities as they come. It's a nice fit. I mean, this is true race coupe pedigree right here. I mean, the Z4 turned into a performance car. Very good idea, BMW. I've noticed on Craigslist, which is where I spend a lot of time, there are quite a few Z4 coupes available. I've seen 3. Pretty high mileage. He's got 73 on the clock, which ain't bad. This is an 07. The ones I've seen were 09s, but they were just the 3-liter. So essentially, if you're familiar with BMW models, trims, and what engines went in them, back in 2006, the E90 emerged in a sedan, and it had a 3-liter engine. It was dubbed the 330, and put out 255 horsepower, which is pretty good. So the Z4 with the 3-liter basically has that engine. So that's not a bad experience. That car will be very fun, very spirited. But 255 and 332 are quite a bit far apart from each other. So you can't really compare the two. So if you're looking for a car like this, and the Z is what you're interested in, or the M of the Z is what you're interested in, you're not going to be satisfied with just the 3-liter. If you're like me, there's no substitute for an original. There's just other options. And so that's what you'd be getting, another option. But it's not going to give you the same thrill as this car will. I like how tight this thing is. There's that noise. Yeah, it's cool. It's too cool. And you sit a lot lower in this car than you do in the M3. It's just the right position for what is intended with this car. I mean, if you're gonna do it, you know what I'm saying? Where's that street go? This car's taking too long. I ain't even gonna wait. It goes kind of fast. I mean, I'm just saying. I wasn't speeding though. I mean, the speed limit in that section I was in was where I was, so it was all on the legal. Behind those shades, I'm winking. All right, I'm going to unleash the beast. Take off this, put the sport button on. Interestingly, I just went around that corner. Oh, let me try something else here. And the rear end didn't even move. It's pretty glued to the road. I mean, the M3, I mean, you can be making a turn in second gear at a pretty pedestrian speed, and that thing will cut loose like you can't imagine. Or maybe you can imagine. Let's go second right here. This thing is glued. I got the traction control off and it still wouldn't come undone. That's awesome. That is just too awesome. Is this the same car I just waited on? It took too long to turn? What are you doing? It's not that I'm impatient. I just don't have a lot of patience for people that drive like snails. No, I'm kidding. I really do. Yeah, this is a good little piece of fantasticism. All right, let me give you guys a quick outside view of this thing. Pretty wholesome goodness right there. That is a beautiful car. Get out of the way. Indeed. Nice color. The blue M cars are always really, really, really coveted. Can't really go wrong with that. Sweet ride. Sweet ride. All right, guys. Well, that's a little quick snapshot of what I got to do today. This is how compact this car is. Check out these buttons right here. Just to conserve space, they just put them wherever they could. There's your SOS. And looks like phone feature, Bluetooth or something. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, till the next time we meet, Stay true. Subscribe. Keep your eyes open, because you never know when I have these impromptu moments like this and just show up with something I did not expect. All right, peace out. All-wheel drive.